Hi there all, it's Mark from Leo Gate Winery. I hope all the club members are safe and well during this difficult time. We're out here in the vineyard today. We're trying to bring a little bit of our wine and our vineyard terroir to the members, as we haven't been able to see you in person for some time now. So we wanted to mix it up a little bit today and take you back to the grassroots of our winemaking, which is in the vineyard, and I can talk you through the latest offerings for our Leo Gate Wine Club. We've got a mixed white seasonal pack here in front of me, and I'd just like to take the opportunity to talk through those wines and have a taste with you and describe what I see in the wines. So first of all, in the mixed white pack, we have our Broken Back Chardonnay 2018. We have our Broken Back Verdelho 2021, and we have our Broken Back Pinot Gris 2021 vintage. Over here on my left, we have our Creekbed Reserve Chardonnay 2019, H10 Reserve Chardonnay 2019, and a new vineyard that Leo Gate acquired last year. It's about 6 kilometres from the Broken Back vineyard here in Pecolbin, and it's called the Black Cluster Vineyard, and that's our Black Cluster Army Block Semillon. First wine, first production for Leo Gate off this 50-year-old vineyard. I'll talk a little bit about that later on when we get to the tasting. But let's start with our Broken Back range of white wines. The first wine that I'd like to go through with you is our 2021 Pinot Gris. Now, first of all, you can see in the wine glass, the wine has a very slight stain of pink because the Pinot Gris grape is a purpled skin grape, and one of the techniques of the winery is to remove the juice from the skin as quickly as we can so the wine doesn't end up looking like a rosé. So we've had a small amount of skin contact, which gives the wine interesting colour, some textural flavour on the palate, and that little stain of pink through the wine. So let's have a swirl and a taste. What I see in the wine is a very fresh summer style wine showing apple and pear and citrus fruit flavours. The wine has had no oak barrel contact. It's been made in the stainless steel vessel, and that captures the purity of the Pinot Gris fruit that grows on the vine. I would think this wine is suitable for spring and leading into summer with many types of seafoods and salads. The options are open for many cuisine, but also simply a glass with your friends. Pinot Gris. The next wine I'd like to share with the members is our 2021 Broken Back Verdelho. Once again, grown on this vineyard here where we are now. Have a swirl. Similar in winemaking technique to the Pinot Gris, made in the stainless steel vessel to capture the purity or the natural fruit flavour of the Verdelho grape, a Portuguese grape variety, showing a little more weight, a little more intensity in both alcohol and flavour than the Pinot Gris, moving more into the tropical fruit flavours. With a little touch of spice and a nice smooth sweet fruit finish. Not a sweet wine, but a soft fruity palate on the finish. 2018 Broken Back Chardonnay. The Broken Back Chardonnay, along with our Broken Back Shiraz, are probably our two flagship white and red wine. We make these in reasonable quantities at prices that we think are suitable for the market for the quality. The Broken Back Chardonnay has oak barrel. It's about 60% fermented in the oak barrel and about 30% or 40% fermented in the stainless steel, where the oak barrel component will receive up to 10-12 months in the barrel, and the stainless steel component is back blended into the wine to lift fruit freshness. And what the resultant wine is, a rich creamy style wine with oak present, but the oak is sitting in the background supported by the fruit. Let's have a taste. I can smell the creamy toasty oak coming through on the nose. And that creamy oak carries through into the palate and is supported by that lovely melon and peach fruit flavour from the vineyard. A very well balanced wine, and I suggest a good all-rounder for many types of cooking and cuisine. Now we're going to move on to our reserve range of wines. Once again, all off the Broken Back vineyard. The first one I'd like to show you in this seasonal white pack is our Creekbed Chardonnay, 2019 vintage. Our Creekbed Chardonnay is slightly different in style to the Broken Back Chardonnay. The Creekbed is matured in 100% oak barrel, but some of them are old, 3 to 4 years of age, and only about 10% new oak. What I'd like to achieve in the Creekbed is a wine that's not too rich and not too oily, a little more leaner with a nice citrus core. And the idea of using immersion bent barrels where the oak is immersed into hot water softens the oak impact and allows that elegance of the fruit to come through in the wine glass. Yes, this one's a favourite of my style, a very contemporary Chardonnay, where that fruit and oak is quite soft and there is a creamy acid core through the wine that's not too drying, but has a softness and a sweetness in the aftertaste. There's not a lot of oak tannin. It's very, very delicate in the structure and in the flavour, but certainly representative of our Hunter Valley terroir. The next wine that I'd like to go through with you is our 2019 H10 Reserve Block Chardonnay. This one here is very popular with the Wine Club members and is probably our most purchased or sought after reserve Chardonnay in our range. In contrast to the Creekbed Chardonnay, the H10 Chardonnay is fermented in 100% oak barrel, but instead of being immersion bent, where the staves are lowered into hot water, these are bent over a fire, an oak chip fire, and you get some nice toasty, oaky, charry characters coming through in the barrel, which adds fruit sweetness, not sugar sweetness, fruit sweetness and richness to the wine grape itself. So let's have a taste. I can pick up that nice toasty, buttered toast aroma coming from the barrels. And that lovely fresh toast is coming through with fresh fruit and fresh acidity. It's a slightly more bigger, more rounded wine than the Creekbed, and stylistically the two wines have their own identity. As I said, Creekbed's a little more lean and citrus. This is a bit more opulent and richer, and the flavour profile is a little more warming on the mouthfeel. A very, very popular wine. Okay, moving on to the last wine in this selection of wines is the new vineyard called the Black Cluster Vineyard. The Army Block Semillon is our first release. We harvested the grapes early this year and now we have the wine in the bottle. As I said, the Black Cluster Vineyard is only 6 kilometres from the Broken Back Vineyard where we are at the moment. The Hunter Valley GI goes on the label, and the reason of the Army Block is because the vineyard of Black Cluster backs onto the Singleton Army base and some of their training grounds. And whilst we're out there sampling or pruning, we can actually hear the rifles in the background. We just hope that the bullets are going the other direction. But if I can just talk briefly about the Army Block Semillon. This vineyard is over 50 years old. Companies such as Brian McGuigan, Wyndham Estate, Orlando Wyndham, Pernod Ricard have been involved in the Black Cluster vineyard. As I said, the vines are over 50 years old, and we're currently growing Old Vine Semillon and Old Vine Hunter Valley Shiraz. I love Hunter Valley Semillon. To me, it's all about the purity of the fruit from a winemaker's perspective and technique. The idea is to capture the natural flavour of the grape from the vine and nurture that flavour through into the bottle without bending or guiding the flavours in other directions. So I like to see the fruit identity present in the glass, and the challenge is to harvest the wine at a low Beaumet, about 11 Beaumet, which is a sugar reading, and convert that into 11% alcohol, but still maintain length and drive of flavour at a low alcohol. And I think this wine is, as many of you would know, a little gem in the Hunter Valley, where you capture that low alcohol, the purity of fruit, the lovely lemon and lime type characters with a creamy acid core running through the wine. A terrific wine with seafood, salads, cooked or fresh seafood, and a glass or two at a low alcohol is quite comfortable at lunchtime. Let's have a taste. Yes, the Black Cluster vineyard, as compared to the Broken Back vineyard, whilst the wine is similar in style and similar in winemaking technique, I notice there's a slight difference in the flavour, and that is purely due to the locations of the two vineyards. I feel on the Broken Back we have a little more lemon and lemon blossom and that lovely citrus acidity, whereas in the Black Cluster I see a little bit more lime zest coming through in the wine, but still with that lovely crisp acidity. I hope you enjoy. Thank you.